Hi, I'm Rita. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Life Worth Reading. And welcome to a new reading vlog. Actually, this is the first reading vlog of 2024, so Happy New Year to all of you. We are halfway through the month already. I've been meaning to start this reading vlog for a long time, but I just haven't found the motivation. My mental health hasn't been doing great in the last couple of weeks. But I am here to start off this vlog and to let you know what we'll be doing. Basically, in this reading vlog, I will be picking just one book off of my physical TBR and I'll just be reading it. It'll be like a very chill reading vlog. I will be showing you some new things that I added to my room as well. And we are just going to talk about our reading this year. And in order to pick out the books, I have actually put a little TBR shelf on my bookshelves here. I hadn't done this before ever, but it is looking cute in my opinion, and we're just going to pick a few books off of there, read the first chapter of each one and see which one grips me the most, because I'm really hopeful that I'll find the 5-star read in this vlog. I am currently reading a book and I've already read one book this year, but it's a reread of a fantasy series that I'm doing with my friends. It's a book that I don't really want to talk about much. And because of that, I will be picking out another book. But yeah, I'm currently reading one and it's quite a long one. But it's not going to be really featured in this vlog, and I wanted to pick a new book to really restart this year, because what I'm doing is basically rereads and I haven't read a fresh new book this year. So that's what I will be picking from. And now let's go over to my newly built TBR shelf and we'll see what I have on there. Also, today is a really rainy day. It's really sad looking outside, so the lighting is really bad in my room. I'm really sorry about that. I'm going to try and edit a little bit of more of warmth, because it is looking cold as hell in this room, and I am a little bit cold. But yeah, it is a really sad day, so I won't be going outside today, so we'll just stay at home reading. I'm also doing a puzzle that I'll show you that I'm nearly finished with. So I will be filming my last couple of pieces on there, and I'm really excited about that because I've been doing that for like 2 weeks maybe, or maybe a little bit more, and it's been really fun. So yeah, we'll talk about all that. Let me just show you the TBR shelf. Okay, so here we have my newly shelf. This is basically what I had in my old setup, but I decided to add this little bit. This is a film camera that I borrowed from a friend of mine because I love film, but mine is broken at the moment. These are all of my film cartridges. These are just some postcards that I have, but I wanted to show you the books that I have on here. Some of them are a little bit random, I'm gonna be honest, but a few of them are because I do want to read them soon. Okay, so the first book that I have on here is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. I've been meaning to read this book so I could go watch the film. It hasn't happened yet. Okay, this is a really long one, so that hasn't happened yet. The second book that I have is Yellowface by Rebecca Afquang, and I am definitely taking this one out because my friend Mafalda borrowed me this book and I do want to read it soon. So this will be one of the contenders for this vlog and I'll be taking it out. And then we have Hollowpox, the third installment in the Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend. I'm not going to be reading this quite at the moment, but I'll be doing a reread of the series and continuing on. Atomic Habits is a book that I've had on here forever. My brother borrowed me this book and I still haven't read it, so it's here just to shame me and to remind me that I haven't read this one yet. Then we have The Book of Goose by Yi-Yun Lee, and this is definitely a contender as well. I'll be reading the first chapter of this. This has been in multiple TBRs. It's a 5-star prediction. It's definitely coming out. Then we have Tom Sweeping by Alexander Chang. This is a book that I want to read soon, but this is a short story collection and not exactly what I'm looking for in this reading vlog, so this will not be a choice for this specific reading vlog. Then we have Nightcrawling by Lil Motley, which is definitely one that I'm willing to pick. Like, this is definitely one that I want to read the first chapter of. This was also in my December TBR 5-star prediction, so this one will be going in the pile. Then we have Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, which is not a choice for this reading vlog because I don't want my first read of the year to be like a science fiction. Maybe it would have been a good choice, but I'm not exactly in the mood for that at the moment, so that will not do. Then we have Exit West. Oh my god. Control yourselves, please. Behave. Okay. Exit West by Mohsin Hamid. This is definitely a book that I want to read. I bought this in New York and I have been really looking forward to this book for a long time. It is a short one. It only has 200 and so pages, so this is definitely a contender. And lastly, we have A Lonely Castle in the Mirror by Mizuki Tojimura. It is the 1-year anniversary since I bought this book in Madrid when I was visiting a friend of mine, so it's a year on the TBR shelf. Like, it is time for me to try and read this, so this will also be one that I'll be reading the first chapter of. And just to finish out, I also have here, oh my god, this is called History of the Mirror. This is a nonfiction about the mirror. This is a French book that was translated to Portuguese. One of my professors told me about it and I just thought it was so interesting. Like, history of a mirror, like, how has this not been done before? So I thought it was really, really interesting. I bought it, but I'm not really feeling a nonfiction at the moment, but that's why it's here. So these are the books that I'll be reading the first chapter of. We have Yellowface, we have the Book of Goose, we have Nightcrawling, we have Exit West, and we have A Lonely Castle in the Mirror. So I'll be reading the first chapter of each one of these. I'll be rating it on a scale of a 0 to 10 based on like intrigue and my general impression of the first chapter, and then we're picking one that I will be reading in this vlog. Okay, so I'm in my living room. I put my little robe on because it is very, very cold. And I will be starting my read of the first chapter of Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. And I will tell you what I thought of it and what happened in this first chapter when I finish. Hello friends, I have just finished the first chapter of Yellowface and that chapter ends up on page 21. So I read about 20 pages and it was really, really interesting. I mean, a lot of people say that our main character, Juniper, that she's quite unlikable. I did feel that a little bit, but I feel like it's going to get worse. Like, this first chapter was just, in terms of her being insufferable, it was just fine. Like, I could see that she's not a very good character, like at heart, like she's not a very good person, but I also haven't hated her yet. I did like the commentary between her and Athena. Basically, if you don't know what this book is about, where have you been? But it's basically about our main character June, who's friends with this girl named Athena, and they went to school, like university together, and they both wanted to be authors, but Athena was very, very successful in her career, in her writing career, where June was not. And June is a white person and Athena is Asian, and therefore she thinks that her success is basically like a diversity hire. She does assume, and she does think, that Athena writes very well, but she also thinks that she gets bonus points for being a woman of color, which is satire, as we know, because yeah, in what world would that happen? Anyway, in this first chapter, they are hanging out together and Athena accidentally chokes and dies. And what we got to was that June stole her manuscript, the manuscript that she had just finished. She hadn't shown anyone, not her work, not her friends, not anyone. And so when she dies, June steals the manuscript, and that's where we go from this and pretends that it's her own. I knew that already going into it, and yeah, this is 322 pages, so this is really just the start of it. I'm gonna rate it like an 8. Like, I could keep reading this and I'll be very, very satisfied. I do want to read this book soon, so even if it's not the best one, I really do want to read it, and I really enjoyed this first chapter. It was definitely an 8. The second book that I'll be reading is the Book of Goose, which actually has the shortest chapters. Literally, the first chapter is just 1 page. So I think that I'll be reading like... Also, they don't have numbers, they just have the symbol. So I'm going to read the first 2, I guess. And I am going to tell you what this book is about. This book is about 2 friends as well. One of them is Fabienne and one of them is Agnes. And at the start of the book, Fabienne, this is written in the synopsis, is dead as well. So 2 books about friends and one of them is dead. I didn't realize that. And I think that Agnes is the story of their friendship and her remembering what they went through. So yeah, I'm just going to start reading this one. I love the cover so much, and I will tell you in a little bit what I thought of it. It's not going to take me very long to read this at all, so I will let you know in a little bit what I thought. Okay, I just finished the first chapter of the Book of Goose. Wild. I'm not really sure what I was expecting. I thought that they would be better friends, but I can already feel some animosity between them. We are inside the mind of Agnes, and she is writing this as she has discovered that Fabienne, her supposedly best friend from childhood, is dead. And it's all about pregnancy as well, because Fabienne died giving birth, and so there's this really weird obsession with birth, and now Agnes says that she wants to get pregnant and give birth without dying, because I can just feel some animosity and some competition between them. And I understood what the geese are about, because Agnes she's in America, but she's from France, and she has this geese that she's taking care of. And so they feel like her children, and it's very pregnancy, birth, motherhood focused, which I did not know, or the lack thereof. And so the intrigue, I don't know, Agnes' perspective was really strange. Like, she says, like, I'm not a very sentimental woman, and you can really feel that. So it was very strange. I would give it like a 6.5. Like, I'm excited to go, like, to continue, but it was a little bit strange. I don't know what I was expecting, but certainly not this. I don't know. Next up, I will be reading the first chapter of Exit West by Mohsin Hamid. So I will see you in a little bit. One more chapter finished. I finished the first chapter of Exit West. I am going to give it like a 7.5. It was really interesting. This is about Saeed and Nadia, and this first chapter was more focused on Saeed and the year that he met Nadia, and also about his family, both of his parents. It was interesting. I still don't really know where they live. Like, it's a country teetering on the brink of a civil war, but the country, like the specific country, has not yet been mentioned, but I'm assuming it's sort of Middle East, or at least it seems like it through the context that we have. And yeah, this is about love, this is about civil war. It was really, really interesting. I wouldn't mind continuing with this one, and I really enjoyed this first chapter, and I feel like this is a book that I would really, really enjoy. Next up, we're going to be reading the first chapter of Nightcrawling by Layla Motley. This I am reading next because Lonely Castle in the Mirror has the longest first chapter. It's divided in like months, at least in the first part, because it's the first semester, and it's literally, let me see how many pages. And it's like 40 pages. Yeah, it's like 30 something or 40 pages, so I'm going to need a little bit of a break before I get into this one. And so now we're going to be reading Nightcrawling by Lila Motley, the first chapter, and we'll see what I think of it. Alright, I have just finished the first chapter of Nightcrawling, and I really enjoyed this. Not specifically in terms of plot or intrigue, but the writing is so beautiful. Like, I already really connected with it. So I think that I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. In this we have Kiara and her brother Marcus, and they live in Oakland. What we know so far is that at least the mother is dead. They're brothers, so at least our mother is dead. And they are renting this place, and the rent is about to increase. Kiara is a high school dropout. She's trying to find a job. Marcus doesn't have a job as well, so things are really tough for them. And that's pretty much all that we know. Like, we saw a little bit of the apartment complex. Her neighbor Dee, that seems to me like she's a little bit delusional because of maybe drugs. That's what I understood, at least. And so we got just a little bit of a taste of Kiara's life and the struggles that she is going through and about to go through, because her rent is increasing and she has no way of paying the rent. So this is definitely an 8 as well. It is competing with Yellowface. Yellowface gripped me more in terms of plot, and this gripped me more in terms of writing for sure. So we'll see how that one goes. I'm going to take a little bit of a break now, and then when I come back I might read the first chapter of Lonely Castle in the Mirror, but this is so long that it's kind of like intimidating me a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break now, and I will see you in a little bit. My hair is absolutely killing me today, but oh well. I am back in bed. I've had a little snack. I did a little bit more in my puzzle, which I did film. Like, there's only 2 pieces left, and I'm waiting because my boyfriend is going to come hang out with me, and he did a little bit of the puzzle with me, so I wanted him to put in the last piece. And so he's coming over. We're going to have dinner, but I still haven't read the first chapter of Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I'm going to start it now. I don't know if I'll have time to finish it before he arrives, but I'll try, and then we'll figure out what book I'll be reading. Probably I'm not going to read a lot today, more because we're going to hang out and then I'm going to have dinner, but we'll just see. We'll just see. So I'm going to start this now, and we'll figure out if this could be a contender to read in this vlog. Hello friends, good morning. Clearly it's a different day, and I'm feeling a little bit sick still. As you can probably tell by my voice, I don't feel very great. I don't know if it's allergies, but I don't feel very great. But anyway, I have just read, because I was reading the first page of Lonely Castle in the Mirror last time I was talking to you, and then I got interrupted because my boyfriend came. And so today I've just read the first section of it, which is until page 40. So I've read 40 pages of this, and I really enjoyed it. I left this one last because of how big the first chapter was, but it was really good. It's about our main character, Kokoro, and we don't really know what has happened, but she is struggling and she has left school. We see a lot of, maybe there was some bullying involved. She is kind of struggling and she has left school, so she's now at home, but it's not really clear yet exactly what happened. But yeah, she's at home and she suffers a lot with, I feel like, anxiety, because there's a lot of head hurting, stomach pain, and so she is struggling a little bit with that. And one day in her room, her mirror starts shining, and she is able to go through it, which is really strange. So she's able to go through it, and she sees this castle, this huge castle, and there's this little girl there that is represented by this, and she's wearing a wolf mask, and she's called the Wolf Queen, which I thought was really cute. And basically she sees 6 other kids there, so there's 7 kids overall, and she notices that all of them are kids that are not going to school. So she meets them. They don't specifically say that, but she realizes that that's what they have in common. And so the Wolf Queen tells them that in this castle there is a room called the Wishing Room, and they have to find a key to the Wishing Room, and they have almost a year to do so, and they can go in and out of the mirror whenever they want, except that they have to like leave by 5 p.m. So that's what they have to do, and they have to find the key to this mirror room, and one of them gets to enter the Wishing Room and make a wish that will come true, and the other ones don't. So it's kind of like this race, this hunt for this key, and I think that along the way they'll just get to know each other better and let each other know why they're in this specific situation, and probably about like mental health struggles, other struggles that they have. And I really enjoyed this. Like, I don't really even think that I could rate this out of 10. Like, I just want to keep reading this now. But just to clarify, I'm gonna put this in order of the ones that I gave the highest rating to. Yeah, it's probably like this. This is weird, but yeah, I think that my favorites in terms of the first chapter, the ones that gripped me the most, were definitely Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I love this one. Yellowface was really good as well. Nightcrawling was really good. These are both like kind of tied in my mind. Exit West was really good. The Book of Goose was the one that was the most confusing, and the one that I would be okay not reading like right away. But these ones I feel like I have to read right away. And so I feel like for this vlog, these 2 will be the ones that I'll be reading. I'll be trying to read this one first, of course, because I'm just really invested in it now, and I've already read 40 pages. And I will let you know what I think of this. I think this is a really good choice. It's a year now since I've hauled it, and I wasn't expecting to connect with the first chapter so much, but I just really did. Like, this was just a really good first chapter, and I can't wait to continue on with it. So for today, my plans are to read as much as I can from this. And also, I think that I need to go to the library today to pick up a graphic novel, because one of my, this isn't written down anywhere, it hasn't been said on my channel, but actually one of my reading goals this year to read more graphic novels. My library has a lot of them, and I never pick them up, and it is a medium that I enjoy. So I think that I should read more graphic novels, and I will be picking up one today that I put a hold on for. And today is also a really ugly day. It's really gray again. It's probably going to rain. It's cold. The vibes are not optimal, but I'll be doing my best to have a good day. You know, sometimes you just need that. You need to do your best sometimes. And so I will be reading this today, and we'll see how much further I get into it. I'm really enjoying it, so I'm really excited about this. Guys, it's lunchtime, and I have just made some ramen for the first time, like from scratch. I think that it's looking really good, and I want to show you because I never show the things that I eat or the things that I cook, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to show you what I did. So ignore this mess, I'm watching Good Mythical Morning, but I am vegetarian. So this is some tofu. I don't eat meat. This is some mushrooms, carrot, and cauliflower. It is looking a little bit burnt, but that's how I like it, to give it a little bit more flavor. And then here we have my broth with the noodles, and oh my god, it's just looking so good and it smells so good. I just put some miso paste in there, some soy sauce, some sugar, and I think that it's looking really good. I'm going to put it all together, but I'm actually really proud of myself. I don't like cooking very much, but I'm really proud of this result. So now I'm just going to put it all together. Hi friends, I have now spent a little bit more time reading, and I'm currently on page 91 of Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I'm still really enjoying it. I wanted to read more, but I am actually going to the cinema. I have no idea where I'm going to watch. This was kind of a spur of the moment decision, but I'm about to go to cinema now. But I will definitely read more later on. I want to break at least 100 pages in this, which I am so close to, and I'm just really liking it. We are getting more of the dynamic between the seven of them. We are coming to understand a bit more of why Kokoro doesn't go to school anymore. It's a lot related to bullying, which is really hard to read, but I'm definitely really loving it, so I'm desperate to continue on. Hi friends, good morning. I am up to page, I always forget to check before I start filming, 125 of Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I haven't read a lot this morning, but I did read a little bit and I'm still really enjoying it. I'm up to part 2, which is the second semester, and I'm really liking it. Today I'm actually going to have lunch with my friend Mafalda. We are going on a sushi date, which I love, and I'm really excited to see her. I haven't seen her in a little bit, and it's just gonna be a good day. Today's really, the weather is really bad, it's really windy, but other than that, I'm really excited for today, and I'll let you know more about the book as I read it, and I will see you in a little bit. Hello again, I am back from my lunch, but as usual, I forgot to film anything. I'm such a mess when it comes to reading vlogs. Like, I just leave my house and it's like, whoosh, it is out of my mind and I never film anything. But me and Mafalda, after lunch, we actually went to the library, which was very damaging to me. I needed to pick up a hold, but I ended up picking another few things that I wanted to show you. And so because of that, I brought my tote bag that I got in New York from one of the secondhand bookstores that I went to. And so now I'm just taking all of the things out. Okay, so I brought the book back that I was currently reading. That's very uninteresting to you. Then Mafalda gave me back Queenie, which I borrowed her. It was one of the first books that she read this year. She really enjoyed it as well, so I'm happy about that. It is back in my collection. And then from my library books, I'm going to show you the ones that I already had. I went there the other day and I picked up some things, and I'm going to show you. The first one that I have is Black Cake by Shermaine Wilkerson. I'm actually going to be buddy reading this with Mafalda in February, so it's going to be on hold for a little bit until the beginning of next month for me to read it. But I'm really excited. I've heard amazing things about Black Cake. It's not really a new release. Oh my god. It's not really a new release in any way. It's going to be 2 years since this was released already. But I'm really excited to know about this story. It's about this family and this recipe for black cake, which is a very Jamaican recipe, I believe. Oh my god. That scared the shit out of me. Oh my god. Anyway. And I've been meaning to read this book for a long time. I love family dramas. That's it. Then I picked up Image of My Soul by Isabel Allende. I had read Violeta last year. I didn't love it, but I did want to read more Isabel Allende's books. She's a very well-known author. And this book I got because of reading with Mo. She did a video. She just did her little comeback to YouTube, which I was so excited about. And she talked about this book. Obviously, it's translated to English, but I got the translated to Portuguese version. I know it's about a historical figure called Inez in the beginning of the New World, when the Spanish people took over South America. And so I know it's about this historical figure. I think most of it is fiction, but it is based on a true story, and I'm really excited to read it. Also, I love the cover. It is so pretty, and I'm really excited to read this one. Then I got this book, which is called in English, let me see. This is called Gin Patrol on the Purple Line, and it's by Deepa Anapara. And this is a book, it's a mystery set in India, and it is about these kids, I think, like these 3 friends that set themselves into adventure to find out one of the kids that was missing. And so I've been meaning to read more books set in India. I really loved Erotic Stories for Punjabi Widows last year. I had a really great time with that one, and so I wanted to read more India books. So this is one that I picked up. Also, the cover really spoke to me. I thought it looked really fun. And so the damage was done for these 3 books, but today I picked up another 3. My hold, I did a hold for Ballad for Sophie by Philippe Mel and Juan Cavia. This is a heavy ass book. Like, I cannot tell you how heavy this book is. And I know that it's about music. I have absolutely no idea what this is about, actually. But I love the illustration style. I've heard amazing things about this book. I'm proud to say that this is a Portuguese book, but it has been translated, so you can definitely find this for yourself if you want to. I think this is going to be a beautiful story. I'm very happy that I picked this up. I've been meaning to read more graphic novels this year, so very excited about this one. And then I was just roaming around and I saw this, which someone must have just donated. And this is Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Sutento. This is the author of Diet A for Aunties. Oh my god, that was the struggle of my life coming up with that title. I didn't love that book. It was fine, it was campy, it was fun. It got a little bit too wild towards the end of it, but I've heard great things about this one. This is about our older character called Vera Wong that has a tea shop, I think, and when someone dies in there and she has to figure it out. So this looked like fun. It's a book that I would never buy for myself. I would never particularly buy it, so I'm excited to read it, give it back to the library. I love when people donate new books. Like, I get so excited. Like, thank you to anyone who donated this book. Like, you just made me a happy gal. And I love a mystery from time to time. I think it's going to be like an easy book to read. It'll be a good time. I'm excited. And then I saw this book, which is called A História de Roma de Joana Bertolo, and this is kind of like a romance about a couple, and I've been hearing great things about it. It is a Portuguese book, so you cannot find this for yourself. But I do love to read my Portuguese authors. I think it's really important to support the authors of my country. And so I'm really excited about this one. It also kind of matches me. It's a book that I've been hearing a lot about. It's always requested when I go to my library. It's never available. So today I just saw it and I was like, today is the day. Today's the day. I will be reading this. I'm gonna have a good time. And so those are the 6 books that I have for my library. But I swear, I'm on such a good reading roll. I feel like I am going to get to all of this. Like, I promise I will. Like, I'm in such a good reading mood. Like, I'm just having a good time reading. And speaking of that, I will be continuing Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I will be reading that now. And yeah, also, I haven't spoken to you about this, but I have this bookmark. I bought this bookmark the other day. Not that I need bookmarks, but I just fell in love with it. I have another one that's in another book right now that is probably my favorite one, but this one is just so cute. I love the flowers. I love the cat. It's very sturdy. Like, I'm just so happy about this specific bookmark that I bought. Like, I'm in love. I'm in love with this bookmark. I don't know what it is. But yeah, like I mentioned before before I was headed out to lunch, I am about to start the 2nd semester. Things fall into place, and I am hopeful that I'll finish that section today and reach page 200 at least. I'm having a really great time with this. I'm really liking it. I'm happy that one of the first books I'm reading this year is a book for my physical TBR, so yay me, go me. And I'm going to go read this for a little bit, and I will let you know some more things about it as they happen, but no spoilers. So I'm going to go read now. Hello friends, I am in my cozy setup. I'm in my bed. You know how it is. And I am still reading Lonely Castle in the Mirror. It is now the next day. Today is Thursday. And I am currently on page 260. And I'm actually hopeful that I'll finish it tonight. It's 100 more pages and I definitely think I can do it. And I'm just loving this so much. It definitely came to me at the right time for me to read it, because our main character, Kokoro, she has been through a sort of traumatic experience at school that's very related to bullying and such. I don't suffer from that, thankfully. I'm way past that age. But because of that, she has been left with a lot of anxiety and she's been really struggling. She hasn't left her house in quite a few months. And so when she goes through the mirror and goes into the castle and meets all the other people. You know, it's been quite a few months now. Now we're in March, and this story started in May. So it's been quite a few months, and in all those months she has been out of her house very, very few times. The only time that she has been super anxious. So she has been going through a lot of anxiety, and honestly I have been going through a lot of anxiety. I used to have really, really bad anxiety, and then I kind of fixed it with therapy. But yeah, at the end of last year, like 2 months ago, I just got really bad again with my anxiety. And so I have been struggling a lot with it, and leaving my house as well. I don't struggle this much. I can leave my house, it's just not very comfortable for me. And so I feel like definitely this came at the right time. Like, I'm definitely reading this in the right moment. I really needed this book because it's making me feel a lot better about how I feel. And all the kids, this book relies very heavily on dialogue. Basically, it's just a lot of conversation between her and the 6 other friends, and it's a lot of that. Also, the authority figures in her life are very, very kind, which I really appreciate. I feel like a lot of YA books rely on bad authority figures, bad parenting figures, not supportive parenting figures, which sometimes it is important to tell a story because there are a lot of children and young adults that don't have that kind of support system. But it also feels so great to see that all the adults in Kokoro's life are just trying to help her out and are trying not to pressure her into behaving normally again. It's really, really great to see that she has a support system that understands her and is genuinely just wants best for her and is not trying to rush her into coming back to who she was. And yeah, they still haven't found the key. They had to find this key in the castle to make one wish. So one of them would find the key, they would make a wish, and that wish would come true, and the rest of them would forget that ever happened. So they would lose all memory of the castle, of each other. And so no one has found the key yet. And if they don't find the key, the castle becomes unattainable. They have to leave, but they retain their memories. And they have found out by this point what they have in common. But they also found out something that was really interesting. And I'm not going to say what it is because I feel like it is kind of a spoiler. But I do really like the direction that this book is taken. It's very much about mental health and honestly how much talking it out and company help in this type of situations. And I do love all of the kids. I have a soft spot for Kokoro, of course. Like, I just love her as main character, but I do have a soft spot for the other kids, and I'm dying to find out more about them. I feel like things are still a little bit unexplained, and there is a mystery throughout. Like, what is this key? What are they trying to find? Who is the wolf queen, this slay girl in the cover? And she keeps telling them that she has given them a lot of clues and whatnot, and I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. So I'm really excited to find out more, and I'm going to keep reading. But I'm just really, really loving this. And you know, like, when you read a book at the right time, it's just like, it's such a special experience, and I really identify with it, and it's also making me feel a lot better about my own situation, which is also really nice. So I'm going to keep reading this to hopefully finish it tonight, and I will see you later. Guys, I honestly don't even want to talk. Like, I just finished this book and I bawled my eyes out. I can't remember the last time that I cried at a book like this. We'll talk tomorrow. I am not stable enough for this, but this book made me cry. Oh my god, I need to go to bed. This is too much for me today. I need to go to bed. This was too much. I will see you tomorrow with my final thoughts, my gathered thoughts, because I cannot think right now. Just cry, just tears. If I think about it too much, I'll cry again. I can't do this, so I'll see you tomorrow. Hello friends, it is the next day and I'm here to wrap up this vlog. Let's talk about Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I am so happy that this was a book that I read. What an unbelievable reading experience that I had. This was definitely a 5-star, as you've seen me update my reading journal. Definitely a 5-star, one of my all-time favorite books now. This was just really great. But this is for people that are moved by characters and not by plot. This is for the character focused girlies. This is not for the plot focused girlies, because there was not much plot. I mean, of course there was the hunt for the wishing key, no, to the key to the wishing room and a lot of that, but it did not have any real action throughout. It was more like conversations between them, and I really appreciated that because it was so character focused. And yeah, the ending, like, I just bawled my eyes out. I can't remember the last time that I cried like this at a book. Honestly, to be fair, I have been really sensitive lately. I have been crying a lot, so this is not that weird, but it really got to me. One of the characters just had a really sad backstory, and when you finally realize what the castle is and what it's there for, I just lost it. I just really lost it. But yeah, I just love the mental health talk. There was like a postscript as well about a UNICEF report about Japanese children were ranked second to last in an international survey assessing children's mental health across 38 developed and emerging countries. And so there's a lot about kids' mental health in this book, which I really appreciated. Also, like I said, I really liked to see a good support system. Sometimes we see a lot of adults that fail their kids, and it does happen in this book, but with Kokoro you can just see that she is very well supported at home, and they give her time and space to heal, to get better, they don't push her or pressure her into doing anything she's not ready for. And I just really enjoyed that aspect of it as well. And overall, I just had a really great time. Like, there's nothing that I would change about this book. It developed at its own pace. It's not a fast-paced book. It's more like conversations and dialogues between characters, but I really enjoyed that. I'm glad that I picked this book out of all of them. I wasn't exactly expecting that this would be a 5-star, but I'm so glad that it was. I read this at exactly the right time because of my own struggles at the moment, and I just really loved it. If you like all this aspects, like portal fantasy, talks about mental health, character focused books, friendship, and yeah, not a lot of plot, but just a lot of getting to know each other and all of that, then you'll really like it. I liked the twists, the little twists of what they have in common, what they're doing there, and just discovering that all of it was really satisfying because you just connected a lot with these characters, or at least I did. So yeah, I'm really glad that I read this book. It was definitely a 5-star. I'm so happy about this, and I hope that you all read it if this sounds appealing to you. In any case, thank you so much for watching this vlog. I know it was a little bit long, but I hope that you at least enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content. And I'll see you in my next video. I hope you have a nice day, and always remember that life is worth reading.